Yesterday, I reported on the Kickstarter banning of the book A Wise at Heart, which is now on fundmycomic.com if you guys want to look for that. It's done very well since the banning. Actually, Fox News has picked it up. They've reported on it. This guy's doing very well. And of course, these boycotts work, guys. If they show that there's money coming in towards these projects, these companies are eventually going to think twice because they're going to lose out on a lot of business when this kind of stuff happens. So go to Fund My Comic, check it out. But I've been hounding the new head of comics outreach coordinator for Kickstarter over the last few days because he got named. He had, of course, a couple of suspect tweets where he was like F Donald Trump, etc. And then, of course, this banning happens, showing that he's actively just pushing in the culture war. Now, over the course of the last few days, the guy hasn't posted anything about the banning, has not responded to any of my inquiries, and of course, now just posts about himself over and over again. It seems this guy really is about outreaching his own personal brand more than he is about doing anything for comic creators on Kickstarter. Now, why does this matter to me? I'm a comic book journalist. I write for Bounding Into Comics, one of the biggest news outlets out there for comics. And of course, we have this channel, which is something that reports on comic book news. But I'm also a comic book creator, and I'm a right-wing Christian comic book creator, and I'm very proud of that fact. And I'm very scared that Kickstarter is going to mess with me just because of my identity at this point. So I want the outreach guy to do his outreach job and just be like, hey, we're not going to target you just for your beliefs. We're not going to target you for who you are. We're here to outreach and actually make comics and grow the comic book community as a whole. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to play favorites with anybody. I want to hear that from this guy. I think that it's an important message for someone who's the head of comics to actually deliver. I mean, I don't think that's crazy to want to have that reassurance as a comic book creator. And I'll get into that in a second. So let's look at this and see what this guy's doing because he's not responding to anything. I don't know how to get him to talk. I don't know what to do with this juncture. It seems like there's a corporate sort of silence on the culture war as they attempt to actually actively hurt conservative creators. It's not outreach at all. So let's look at this and get into the news. If you're new to the channel, I'm John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. This is my Flying Sparks, which successfully funded on Kickstarter, made 20 grand. So I've made over 100 grand on their platform. I've made the money. This is top 10% of comic books out there that make it on Kickstarter at the very least. So these people should pay attention. Now, Flying Sparks is now available on BackerKit right now. You can check it out. This is a beautiful superhero's tale. It's the alternative to Marvel and DC and all the garbage that they push lately. I'm dialing back all the stuff. None of that multiverse or any of that crap. It bothers me when I read that stuff in comics because it's like, okay, you're being lazy about continuity. I was not. I've set up a beautiful story from day one in this. There's over 300 pages in this series right now, and I've created a wonderful superhero tale just like they used to make before. You'll absolutely love it, and it's something you can share with anybody. There's nothing weird in it, so check it out. That link's in the description below, and I really appreciate you guys for supporting independent comics like the guy from Kickstarter should do. Hey, outreach guy, why don't you back my comic? Here it is. Now, like I said, I'm a customer. And so I've backed over 100 different comics on Kickstarter at least. So I'm a paying customer on that end, but I'm also a paying creator here. So if he's outreaching, here's all my projects. 1, 2, here, look at this. This is $50,000 between 2 projects. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done 9 projects, and I'm probably going to be launching a 10th and 11th maybe sometime this year also. So I'm somebody who's very active on Kickstarter. I'm a big part of the Kickstarter comic book community here. And yet the outreach guy is completely blatantly ignoring me. Why? I'm very scared because we had this situation the other day where this project got banned. And this project is actually in conjunction. It's written by a man named Hans Schantz, who's a great guy. And the artist on this project is actually an artist that worked with me on Overmind. So this actually is hurting somebody who is working with me directly. So that bothers me that this gets banned and this gets targeted because it just questions the narrative. Now, it's really funny because this book is all about somebody questioning the narrative and getting oppressed for it. And so the guy getting oppressed for writing a book about somebody questioning the narrative and getting oppressed is really ironic. I mean, Kickstarter's really showing that he has a point in all of this. But this is happening right now, and this is a very scary thing. The outreach guy needs to address this. He needs to get on top of this, you'd think. But look at this. The guy's not talking about anything. He's got his own press. He's just talking about his own book. He's talking about his own appearance as a publisher. He doesn't care about anybody else. He hasn't talked about anybody else's books. A convention, here he is, that he's appearing at, of course, and a bunch of big name like Jason Aaron, who works for Marvel Comics, is appearing out. Ram V, Marvel Comics. So, of course, not independent comics from Kickstarter again. Here it is. Owl House alumni, Disney animated series. This, again, doesn't have anything to do with Kickstarter outreach. Here's one. He finally actually did put a book up. Pre-orders of this are right here. Design Beautiful book. Is this a Kickstarter comic? No, this is on somebody else's own website. So again, I don't know what this guy's doing for Kickstarter to outreach to comic people to bring them over to Kickstarter. He seems to be just posting news articles about himself and about himself and about himself, and then trying to promote his little small press where he's making his own things himself. So I don't know if I'm going to get targeted for this. I mean, I assume that Bryce Gold's going to see this and he's going to watch this. Bryce, why aren't you responding? I'm here to talk. I'm not here to gotcha you or anything like that. You have a job, and this is a very big job with Kickstarter. It's a very important role, and we need to know as independent creators that we're not going to be harassed off the platform by activists who just want to attack us. That is something that we've been dealing with for a long time in the comic book industry, not just me, but a bunch of other people. And we want to have a safe place just to make our comic books and just to sell our comic books and not have a problem. I want to have that dialogue with you, Bryce, and I want to have that discussion. We can do it on air. I'd love to actually stream about it. If you came on a live stream with me, you would definitely assuage a lot of fears, but we can do it offline too and just talk about this stuff. I'm both a reporter, so I'd be interested in talking to you on that level, and I'd also be interested in talking to you off the record as a creator, whatever you're comfortable with. But I need that assurance. Now, I'd love to deliver this to the greater indie comic community at large and say, you know what, Kickstarter's not going to do this. This was a one-time thing. They overreached and blah, 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 blah for this situation. I'd love to have that message out there. But it looks like, just based on the ignoring of this situation completely, that we have a much bigger problem on our hands with the company. Now, I'm very scared about this because Indiegogo's also shown a propensity to have problems. They've banned me from their platform, of course. And of course, they've shadow banned a lot of other people. And it does seem politically motivated also. So yes, we have a beautiful alternative in Fund My Comic, which I absolutely love, but a lot of people are not on there. A lot of the general comic readers are on these platforms, and I want to make sure they're safe for all creators. So Bryce, dude, just talk to me. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. It's literally your job. You are a comic book outreach coordinator, the head of comic books at Kickstarter. I'm one of your bigger customers. You should be catering towards me. That's what business is about. And if you can't do that, why is Kickstarter hiring you? It doesn't make any sense. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out Flying Sparks on BackerKit. I appreciate you guys for being there.